Goalkeeper, number 17, Paulo. Number 20, J.T. Thomas. From St. Louis, Missouri, number 21, Justin Stinson. Number 22, Zach Regan. Number 33, Pepe. Number 40, Mario Marcos. Number 70, McGee. And number 99, number 95, Felipe. And now let's meet your ambush coaches.
He is assisted by Jamie Swanner, Chico, Mark Litton, Tony Shelby, and Shay McNamara. Also on the bench, official medical providers, Mercy Athletic Trainers are Brian Callens and Jake Taylor.
Good evening, Ambush fans, and welcome into the Family Arena for this third game in a row between the St. Louis Ambush and the KC Comets. Down on the field, I'm Patrick Kettle alongside Matt Bird. And Matt, the Ambush already have 2 wins against Kansas City. They can get the third tonight and guarantee a tie for the season series on the year.
I don't think tonight's game can be overstated too much. If the Ambush can get a win tonight, they'll pull away 3 games ahead of the Comets. And it's going to be tough. I mean, the last 2 wins were by a single goal each, so this is going to be another close game, I feel. But the Ambush have got the edge. You know, they won the last 2 games, very, very tight games. But, you know, it's all to play for again.
In 2 very tight games, as you said, and one of those people that's really stepped up in those 2 games, 2 people rather, would be Paulo, who also leads the league in save percentage. And on top of that, Zach Reger has been an extremely good surprise for the Ambush so far this season.
Well, we know what Paulo can do. Let's not kid ourselves. He had a really good initial year last year coming into the league from futsal down in Brazil. But he really has stamped his authority on this game in the last 2 games. He came in for Casey Clark, who played the first 3 games, but a .785 save percentage. He leads the league now in their saves. And, you know, he's making his mark in this league, and everyone seems to know when Paulo's in goal, then they're facing a brick wall. Zach Reger, he's come in. He was in the academy last year. He's come from Wisconsin. He's big. He's a big name up there. His dad owns an indoor arena. He plays this game a lot. He knows this game. He trained with the academy last season, and he's come in and he's just absolutely hit the ground running. I think he's on 6 goals. He scored 4 in the last 2 games against Kansas City, and he really has stamped his authority on this league and this team. I mean,
who wants an Ambush t-shirt? Let me hear it.
Not just come in as a squad player, he's in the starting 5.
As you alluded to earlier, a lot of close games this year and last year, but since the Ambush have turned over a new leaf, and when their backs are against the wall, they just are able to give that extra push forward and never give up.
I think if you just saw the results last year, it gave a false sense of the narrative. A lot of the games last year were very close, but the Ambush just couldn't get over the line. Now, the last 2 games and the first game down in Orlando, the Ambush have got 3 wins, and they're all extremely tight, close games. Everton's brought in a couple of players into this team, and those guys pushed this team to win close games, and I expect the same again tonight, Patrick.
It's going to be a good match between these two teams. As I said before, the third matchup in a row between the Comets and the Ambush. That's going to be shortly. Meanwhile, we're going to send it over to Brian for the pregame festivities.
And welcome into the Family Arena, ladies and gentlemen, for this third straight matchup between the St. Louis Ambush and the Kansas City Comets. I'm Patrick Kelly, alongside Matt Bird. And Matt, the Ambush got off a 6-5 win, both games, one in OT, one in regulation. But it could have been a lot more if Brett Petracek was not in goal for this KC Comets squad.
2 weeks ago, he was lights out. He stood on his head. I didn't think we'd get past him at one point. I mean, Kansas City rolled out to a 4-0 win. You know, they were leading, they had the game in the bag, and then you always felt that as soon as the Ambush had breached the dam, there was more to come. And thankfully for the Ambush case, you know, that happened to be. But last week's game was a bit more even-keeled. You know, they went ahead, we went ahead, they went ahead. It was a bit more back and forth. What I was pleased with was the fact that the Ambush managed to win 2 close games in a row. We haven't seen that for a long, long time. And it goes back to something that Mark Litton's been saying, is that it goes to the character and the the perseverance of the coaching staff to try and get them on the program that Everton wants. And it's coming to fruition. So I'm pleased for them, I'm pleased for the coaching staff, I'm pleased for the players. They've got to keep it rolling though, because if they can win tonight, it puts some serious daylight between them and the rest of the pack going forward.
Not only being able to go back and forth in that last game in Kansas City, but they were able to hold on to that lead for almost the entire fourth quarter. They had to hold on to that 6-5 lead, and they did so very well.
Again, it goes back to what Mark was saying before the game, that this team is working very, very hard. But again, I don't think it's going to be as easy tonight, so to speak. Kansas City 2 weeks ago were coming off a very hectic 3 games in 4 days schedule. Both teams now have had some rest. I was glad last week that the Ambush were able to go to Kansas City and prove that the first win wasn't really a fluke. But I think the Kansas City Comets are going to be out for some revenge tonight.
As the Ambush with the ball on the offensive end, Stinson taken down as he cut towards the middle. That's going to be a foul on KC. Quick restart for the Ambush, just 30 seconds in this first quarter. Almeida will take it. Long pass over, Reggett the one-timer, and that goes over the net into the netting, so that will be KC ball.
You can't help but be impressed with what Zach Reggett's done the last couple of games. He's come in, came out of nowhere really. I mean, he was in the academy, he was training with the team last season, but he's really come in at the beginning of this season and stamped his authority on this team. 5 goals now, 2 in the last 2 games against Kansas City, and he really is a guy to watch.
He's been playing great, and it's not gone unnoticed as he got Week 4 Team of the Week honors in the MASL.
Well deserved too, and while we're mentioning Team of the Week and honors, Paolo in goal tonight for his 3rd straight game. He's leading the league with goals assist average at .785, saves.
Now the Ambush give down to JT, up to Clayton. Clayton, a long boot that stays on the ground and cleared out of play, so the Ambush get a restart. It's going to be a top of the box. And going to make some changes. Out comes Reggett, Almeida, and Dos Santos. And Reggett's going to take it. 3-man box set up for KC. Is it in? A shot. This goes wide by Dos Santos. He's looking far side.
That did not miss by much. Good bright start this by the Ambush, taking the game to Kansas City. I think that really the last thing that they need to do is have a repeat of going down by 4 goals again. And Brett Petracek in that first game, I mean, he stood on his head for 3 quarters. And I think the Ambush know they've got to get at him quickly. He is a good keeper, and once he finds his groove, he is very difficult to beat.
The Ambush back at the defense, Felipe for Duarte. Now on the far side, Adamson, who had the overtime winner back here at home, takes a long shot that just barely missed short side. So he had Almeida trying to get that rebound, but KC takes over, able to clear it forward just over Palmer's head. The Ambush are going to re-grab possession.
You mentioned there Adamson with the overtime winner 2 weeks ago. No one deserved it more than Corey Adamson. No one deserved it more.
A beautiful setup from Jurger Gibson. Still only Adamson's 1 goal on the year. As Dos Santos moves it over to Antonio Manfoot. Manfoot has some space, instead defers to Duarte. Down low, Jurger Gibson. Gets the ball knocked off him and able to muscle that ball back for Mario Marcos. A long shot taken. That curved a little bit, went wide. KC able to grab possession. Trying to quickly work it up, instead just dropping it back. Togba will go over to the far side. A long boot up, trying to find Gibson. Goes past him, but Gibson goes in against Duarte. Gets it back to Togba, and a good block by Manfoot going down to the turf. As now it's Perez for the Comets. Nacho is going to drop it all the way back. That was Sosa. Sosa's third in the league in assists, as Dos Santos able to steal that back away. Nacho taking it right back, and KC still some big pressure in the offensive end. Togba now trying to get around Dos Santos. Good move. So he gets it to Perez. A long shot goes wide, and they're just going to let that go to Paulo.
And they're calling that a back pass.
Yeah, Dos Santos just just tapped it over to Paulo. So it's going to be restart now at the top of the box for Kansas City.
Paulo, that's Paulo's error for me. I mean, he's got to wear it on the side of caution. He had plenty of opportunity just to boot it away. Dangerous spot here.
And a good block in front. That was Marcos. The Ambush had a 3-man wall set up. Now Petracek forward. And gets knocked down. That's Perez. Kansas City keeps the ball out in front of the penalty box. Grant can't get it around Stinson. Great moves by Stinson. That's going to be a foul on the Comets. So Grant gets his first of the half. The Ambush making some changes. Mario Marcos and Dos Santos go back and forth. Fresh off the bench is McGee. Now McGee waits, gets it to Almeida. And Pepe back. Again, set up as they have Reggett down low. And they're going to use him bouncing off the boards, able to bounce off a man. Now Reggett looking for a pass, gets into a wide open Stinson. Now Stinson coming towards the middle, got knocked off the ball, has to defer to Pepe. Almeida just barely able to touch that back to McGee. Now Reggett again. That's setting it back, and then he's going to send it all the way back to Paulo. Pepe back to retrieve that as Kansas City makes some changes. Almeida. Lucas Almeida into Reggett, settles it, spinner on shot, goes off the post. Now Stinson again, takes a shot blocked in front by Brian Perez. Ambush keep it alive, Almeida knocked down. No call though, as grabbing that ball back was Robert Palmer.
Petracek doesn't have to be good if everything comes off the post.
Goalie's best friend right there.
Absolutely. He won't mind.
A couple nice touches, gets up to Gibson. Gibson leaves it for Williams, a shot and a good diving save by Paul. Now a rebound, bounces off the glass. Still some danger though as Williams knocks off the boards, and Paulo's gonna gobble that up. There's great defense there by the Ambush.
As soon as I saw Gibson on his own up front like that with the ball, I was like, oh no, here we go again.
Well, not only that, but the ball was going up in the air too. I'm like, he's not gonna try this again, is he? Almeida alone, takes his shot, he hits the crossbar.
I tell you, it's gonna be one of them nights. It's gonna be one of them nights again. But absolutely, Gibson all on his own. I thought, oh, he's gonna do it again. He's gonna score an overhead kick. Here we go.
Adamson quickly on it off the bench. Leaving it for Pepe as the Ambush gets set up. Just under 10 to play in this first quarter. Up for Clayton. Clayton does a nice little head fake, gets knocked down by Rodriguez. No calls. The Comets grab possession. Clayton trying to muscle him off it, and McGee's going to take over. Letting him play as it gets over to Corey Adamson on the far side. Adamson tries to cut between two men. Not able to do so as they knock it out of the board. Still not out of danger yet. As stepping up is Felipe. A long shot just misses over the net. That's going to be Comets' ball.
That was a definite defender's shot there. High, wide, and handsome.
Hey fans, stop by the merchandise stand near section 121. You can also purchase your bags of apples.
Petracek with the setup.
mini apple tubs.
Gibson, nice job. Got the first touch there, then try to move it over to Nacho Flores, but it's going to go for the ambush. There's Marcos. Gives it up. That's Williams. Trying to move it back. Manfoot going up against Sandovari. That's going to go all the way back to Petracek. Comets keep it on the ground, then they lose it. Mario Marcos now has Manfoot. He waits. Fans on the shot. Now Felipe takes one. That's blocked in front. Now Manfoot trying to play it off the boards. That shot couldn't get to go, so it goes back for Marcos. At the yellow circle, the yellow line rather, try to get it to Gibson. Now he'll get it to Gibson. Spin it around, takes a shot. That just barely goes wide. Now Manfoot a chance, and that goes in. Manfoot off the boards. It bounces off Petracek, and it's a 1-0 game.
I'm glad for Antonio Manfoot. I think he's not really struggled, but he struggled to find his feet coming into a new team at the beginning of the season. That'll be a big weight off his shoulders. I think that's his second goal of the season now. When he could have been his second goal of the game, he hit the post.
We have immediate timeout on the field.
Immediate timeout on the field now. Ambush were knocking on the door this entire first quarter to start, and they'll take that goal no matter how you get it.
Absolutely they will. I mean, Manfoot's a better player with the ball at his feet. He's not that tall. You know, I mean, you can't play the ball in the air to him against these big man-mountain defenders that Kansas City has got. You play the ball into his feet and he can do good things. So that'll be a relief to him.
For Manfoot, his second goal of the season.
We'd like to remind everybody that you can get the latest news on MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter.
This first period is absolutely flying by. It's been back and forth. It's like the ambush will have 2 minutes of pressure, and then Kansas City come back and have 2 minutes of their own pressure. But I think you're right. I think we were knocking on the door a bit more. We created a bit more chances, having a bit more looks. And Petracek's beaten.
That's the first step the ambush needed to take his game past Petracek. Weren't able to do that until the third quarter last game. We were talking about that last game at the Family Arena. The ambush struggled last season in the third quarters. They did really well last game.
I think it's one of the things that Everton and the coaching staff have worked on is be consistent. You know, it's no good having a good first half and then blowing it in the third. You know, and especially if you have a bad first half like they did, 2 weeks ago, if you consistently have a bad third quarter, then you're really digging yourself a big hole to get out of. But most of these games, the first 5 games of the season so far, the ambush have come out flying after half time. And it'd be nice if that continues, especially if they're not having to dig themselves out from a 4-0 deficit, a 2-3-1 deficit. You know, they went down to Florida in the second game against the Tropics. They were 5-2 down going into the third quarter. They managed to climb some of it back, but ultimately, it was just too much at the end. They played a lot of the third and fourth quarter with the goalie pull just to try and make something happen. It nearly worked, but you can only play so long with a goalie pull when you start leaking goals.
Now Gibson will start it up for KC. Down by 1 now. Petracek under a lot of pressure. There's Togba now under pressure from Stinson. He's all over the place as Stinson pressures him to the corner. Togba making some nice moves, able to find some open space. And moves it over to the far side. Spin around is Palmer. Now Robert Palmer back to Togba. They get their offense set up as they get it back to Perez. Now Palmer again with Reggett close to him. Good defense by Almeida. They're just pushing the Comets back further and further, and it's going to have to go all the way down to Petracek. He's going to try and send it to Gibson. Gibson with the header, loses it immediately. Nice play by JT, trying to keep it in play. Able to do so, but Gibson able to knock that ball back. So they get it to a wide open Green. A shot taken, goes off Paulo, and then across the crease, but that's going to count as a save for the Brazilian.
Nice work by McKee there to you know, the overhead clearance. James Thomas has come into the game now. He scored 2 goals last week in Kansas City. You know, he's been in and out the squad, you know, as Everton's been playing. Good for him, you know, to come in and make an impact like that 2 weeks ago.
Almeida goes down hard into the boards on the near side. That's going to be the second foul of the day. As now the ambush. Axel Duarte with Pepe coming off the bench. Pepe waits as Almeida hits it for Clayton. Clayton with a lot of space to work. Thought about shooting. Instead, gets it down. JT settles it with his chest. And back up top for Pepe.
Good hold-up play there by James Thomas. Kept possession well. Just held the ball up, managed to get it back and find a guy.
Pepe again for Clayton. Clayton a lot of space to work with. Slowly being pressured. That's Stokic right there. It gets it over to Adamson. Cuts the outside. Tries to bounce off the boards to JT, but it's going to go to a wide open Grant. As they work it up the boards, Grant further intercepted by Axel Duarte. Now up for Clayton. 3-on-2 for the ambush. Clayton in. Cuts. He shoots. He scores! Clayton makes it 2-0.
Clayton Padalera. Welcome back from injury, son.
You cannot give that man that much space.
No, absolutely
in
not.
the middle. He saw it, and what a beautiful shot.
First game he played for the ambush last year was away in Baltimore, and everyone thought we'd get slammed in Baltimore. And first 2 minutes he came in and took a shot from distance like that and just nailed it in the corner. I'm like, hey, we've got a player here in Clayton Padalera. You can't give him that much space. You're absolutely right, Patrick.
Just like that, the ambush. Now a 2-0 lead. KC working from behind. In the position the ambush were last game here. Gibson, the low off balance, loses it. Gibson gets it to his midfielders. Now Ramon Palmer trying to move it up the boards. That's going to be Gibson with a foul against the ambush bench. For the restart for the Comets.
This scoreline won't faze the Comets. They're wily, mature players. They'll know their opportunities are going to come. I mean, I don't want to get a sense of deja vu, but we were 6-0 ahead of them in a game last season, and we still blew it.
So talk about the O-line being pressured by Manfoot. Gets over to the far side. They're waiting, try to get to the inside for Palmer, but it's going to be knocked away by the ambush. Kansas City keeps possession, though. Togba cuts the middle, takes a shot. Just goes over the net. Gibson with the rebound. Little Gibson, that is, knocks it across the boards. Now, Paulo went out of the box to try and save that, has to retreat back. Able to hold on to it, though.
Does that go down as a save? I mean,
I think there was a bit of a shot taken there by KC. Marcos almost had Reggett wide open in the corner. Good heads-up play by KC to push that ball back. Under 5 to play now as Felipe sets up the offense. 3 new additions back for the ambush. McGee, Felipe, and Marcos. We'll go further back for Paulo. Paulo tried to lift up to Manfoot. He didn't see that, though. Togba knocks it away. Ambush able to keep it, though. Now Togba, a good slide. Able to push that up for Sosa.
Manfoot got slammed at the boards there, I think.
And it looks like there is going to be a foul on Kansas City. We'll wait to see.
Comets foul on number 19, John Sosa, his second of the half.
So there's going to be Sosa.
Sosa thought he had the free kick.
Manfoot kicks off him, tells him to back off a bit. So it will be ambush ball. And the Rocket is not happy about that one on the bench, still trying to get the ref's attention.
He might have a point, I've got to say.
Goes down to the St. Louis native, Stinson. Reggett tries to send it off the glass for Stinson, but intercepted by KC, and they move forward. Good enough numbers. Is it Stokic? Goes into the boards against Dos Santos. Now Dos Santos taken out by Palmer. And so Santos is fined by another foul on Ramon Palmer. It's actually his first. Duarte will restart it.
It's been one of the best quarters the Ambush have played in a long time. You know, they've totally controlled this period of play. They look quicker, they look sharper, the passes are going to feet. I do think that Kansas City's trying to play off them a little bit, but the Ambush are playing really well and scything them open.
Good cut by Stinson to Almeida, and a great save by Petracek. Diving over, but the Ambush able to grab their own rebound. Lucas Almeida, now Stinson. Gets it to Almeida, Stinson in a race for it in the corner. Goes in against Kyle Williams. Now 2 KC players there, and they're going to knock down Stinson. That's going to be a foul on the Comets. That's actually going to be on Stinson. He went down, so KC's going to get the ball down in their own end.
Tickets, food, gifts, and more. See the sales table near section 1.
We're seeing a yellow card there for something.
And a yellow card has been issued to the Comets, number 5, Ramon Palmer.
Maybe something was said to the referee, I'm not sure.
5 minutes for dissent, number 5, Ramon Palmer.
And Palmer's going to head to the box now for 5 minutes. We had this last time with KC, a 5-minute penalty, but we're going to remain 5-on-5.
Again, it's kind of sloppy discipline from the Comets. It kind of cost them 2 weeks ago. They don't want to be going down that road again.
Well, not only did it cost him in the game itself, but Kyle Williams ends up getting a red card, unable to play in KC against St. Louis. That definitely cost him. And now it's Sandovari for the Comets. Back for Sosa now, over to the far side. Gets around Dos Santos, down low for Nacho. Nacho pressured hard by Justin Stinson. Cuts it towards the middle. Almeida tried to get a boot on that. Now Dos Santos will knock it off the glass. KC keeping it alive though. Brian Perez just decides to move it back. And Sosa will move it further back to Petracek. Petracek, the Illinois native, sends it forward. Gibson tries to give one touch over to Sandovari, who heads it off the sideboards. Now Justin Stinson forward, tries to grab it, and it's going to be taken by Lucas Almeida. Almeida, one-on-one, trying to get it around Palmer, and he can't. He's taken down, though. No call, though.
I think Almeida went looking for that contact. It was the right call by the referee, I've got to say. Almeida knew that something was going to happen, and he tried to make the most of it.
Berto for KC. Up for Leo Gibson. All he has is Duarte to beat. Now the Ambush catch up as pass off its mark, intercepted by Pepe. Pepe with a minute left in the quarter. He has a man wide open. Instead, it's going to be taken back the other way by KC. Togba for Leo Gibson. Gibson waits under a lot of pressure for Togba. Quickly back was Pepe. Now they send it into the corner. Knocking off the boards. Nacho in front, and they score. Kansas City makes it a 2-1 game.
In the Ambush there, we're 14 minutes and 25 seconds away from having the perfect start to this game.
Scored by number 51.
Number 51, Robert Palmer, is first of the season.
His first goal of the season.
His second point. So he gets KC back into this game in the dying seconds of the first quarter.
Goal was assisted by number 23.
Fantastic slide to get in there, though. I mean, he had to go in there where the boots were flying. You know, that wasn't easy. He had to slide right between 2 Ambush defenders just to get contact on that ball. But, you know, he went in there, and sometimes you've got to be brave.
Now Clayton gets it for Felipe. Back to Clayton again. He had the second goal for the ambush. Now to Adamson. Pulls it back up for Clayton. To Felipe waiting. Send it all the way down. Trying to find Gibson off the boards. Gibson settles it, but can he keep control? He does. Back for Clayton. A big boot and a diving save by Petracek as the buzzer sounds. And that's the first end of the first quarter as the ambush lead the KC Comets 2-1.
Almost a perfect quarter there for the ambush, and KC had their opportunities too, and really no more than they deserved, I think, at the end. Every time that Leo Gibson gets the ball in the final third, I think something's going to happen. But this game's not over. And it's kind of almost a mirror image of last week's game. I think it was 2-1 after the first quarter, then to the ambush too, so we always knew it was going to be a close game. We knew it was going to be a tie game. It's going to form, and I think the early lead the ambush got will have suited them. They're still in the lead. They don't have to worry. I know they'll be on a bit of a downer there, having let a goal in, in the last 30 seconds of that quarter. But they've still got the lead. They don't have to panic. They don't have to chase the game. Let Kansas City do the running. But I can't imagine that Ken Rotveld was happy with that quarter from his guys. He'll be lighting a fire under them right now.
Here it is. Just had a discussion with the referee back in his team's huddles. We like to remind you, you're watching the ambush on MASL TV. You catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv. So you said not a perfect quarter, but really exactly where the ambush want to be in this situation right now.
Oh, Everton's got to be really, really happy. I mean, not only the ambush scored 2 goals, but they created a lot too. They were created a lot 2 weeks ago, the last home game here, but they couldn't find the net. I think it was vital that they got off the mark really early in this game. It would have just put them at ease and gone, okay, we know we can score against this really good keeper that Kansas City have got. I think Everton will be very happy. I think just the timing of the goal rather than the fact that they conceded a goal. I think they'd have liked to have got to the end of the quarter with a nice 2-goal cushion, but it is what it is. As I say, there's plenty of game to go in this. They know that Kansas City are going to come at them at some point and put them under pressure. But we've seen it in the past, especially last year, if the ambush would take a lead and then they get pegged back and then their heads will drop. I think this is a different ambush team now. They know they can run with some of the bigger teams in this league, and their heads aren't going to drop. There's going to be no sense of, oh, here we go again. They know they can run with this team. They've beat them twice. They've proved it now. They just have to go out and do it a third time again.
Thank you, Endures and Signs, for the hot
But what
pizza
Ken Rotveld
delivery.
he can't have his team going to 1-5. This is the Comets are not a 1-5 team. They can't get to 1-5. He'll be lighting a fire under them right now. He can't have this team going to 1-5.
One thing that was constantly said about the ambush last season is they're better than their record shows, and can't think of a better explanation than KC sitting right now.
Absolutely. And if we presume now, I mean, the table doesn't lie. We're second in the league behind Milwaukee. We're playing some good football. But when Kansas start playing the Harrisburgs and some of not bad teams, but they've had a really tough start. They've played us 3 times now. They've played Milwaukee twice, who I think are the class of this division. When they start playing Orlando and get some parity in the standings, it'll give them a truer sense of where they are.
The ambush next game will be on December 31st in Milwaukee at 3:05. That's going to be their New Year's Eve special as the ball bounce in front to Reggett. The Petracek able to grab that. Surveying his options, sends it all the way as the team's making a change. Very risky as KC had a 2-man men on the field last game. Oh, the ball floating down towards Paulo. Good job stepping out of his box. And the ambush push it all the way forward into KC territory. Robert Palmer, long boot up and a nice push by Paulo to knock that ball away.
Clever play that by Paulo. I think he knew if he'd have caught the ball, he could have lost it. Just better just to punch it away.
Ambush making some changes. Felipe gets it to Antonio Manfoot. Manfoot cuts to the middle, takes a shot, and a jumping Petracek able to grab that.
think that early goal has settled Antonio down. He's looking a bit more lively. He's got a bit more confidence about him.
Ambush able to relieve the pressure. JT tried to move it up to Manfoot. And it's going to go right back to Mario Marcos. Now Felipe, long boot forward, right on to Petracek. He's going to be able to take over possession. Petracek out of his box under some pressure from JT. Able to get to Brian Perez. Perez going up against Dos Santos, down low, off the boards in front. No one able to grab it. Then Palmer jumped forward, but Gibson was on the far side. Now Gibson takes a shot blocked in front by Stinson.
Well done, Justin. They needed that. I mean, I can't believe that the ball just was able to roll in front of the goal like that beforehand.
Palmer over to Gibson, a nice header, and that hits the post on the far side. Palmer again, that time it goes well wide. Stinson.
I was going to say that post had a hammer in this this first half.
And not either post, just that specific post right there. They're going to have to get a new paint job on that after this game. It goes off the boards. Manfoot being pressured by Gibson, almost a handball. Gets it up to Stinson, though, and then tried to send it all the way up to JT, who was all alone. That's going to go out of play, be ambush ball. Here comes Palmer out of the box. His 5-minute penalty has expired.
2018-19 season are still available. Stop by the sales table near section 121 for more information.
I can imagine Ken's going to have a word with him and say, hey, keep your mouth shut.
The last thing KC needs right now, just like last game, is now it's Lucas Almeida. Clayton Pedalera sends it up forward. Nice block by Sosa. Anthony Grant under some pressure, has to drop it back now all the way forward, and another great play by Paulo. Jumps forward and punches that ball back to midfield.
He had to get there, Paulo. He had to get that.
And that's where his height really comes to his advantage. There's Leo Gibson towards the middle, trying to settle it as Grant to the outside. A shot taken, blocked in front by Dos Santos, and a rebound just barely misses the net. Good positioning by Paulo here. KC changing. Ramon Palmer starts to cut to the middle, gets it back to Sosa, right back to Palmer. Being pressured by Gibson.
Good spell of pressure this by the Comets. They're after an equalizer. Great block by Lucas.
Blocks it with the back, a beautiful slide.
But that's what it takes to win games. You got to put your body on the line. That's what it takes, and that's what also what it shows your teammates is how committed you are. They'll get a lift from that.
Leo Gibson spin around shot. That hits the glass. Now Axel Duarte under some pressure from Gibson. Great play by him, but able to move it back up to midfield. Now Corey Adamson fighting for it against Palmer. Gives him a little push. Casey pushes all the way down. Gibson goes in against Duarte, and they are going to call that. I don't know about that one. Gibson just went up in the air, kind of bounced off his chest.
Yeah, I think Leo is using all of his experience there to make sure he got a free kick. You know, he's a wily player, as Leo Gibson.
Tonight is Special Olympics of Missouri.
I mean, there was contact, though. I mean, I can't fault Leo for going down there. I'd probably do the same. There was contact there from Axel.
He kind of went up on his chest. Axel was kind of bent backwards. Regardless, Kansas City has the restart. They're going to call a timeout with 10:27 remaining in the first half. We're going to talk this one over, trying to get back in and tie this.
Yeah, this first 5 minutes of the second quarter here has been mostly Kansas City applying some serious pressure. You know, they know they've got to make this pressure tell. Because if they have a good 5, 6, 7 minutes where they're putting us to the sword and come out with nothing, then, you know, it's just allowing us to make hay while you got to imagine that the Ambush, they're going to have their own 5, 6, 7 minutes spell of pressure, and they can maybe get something out of that. And the Comets have to make hay while the sun shines here, when they're applying the there applying the pressure.
The Best Western Charles Hotel is the official host hotel aboard St. Louis
Should
Ambush.
be close to the end of the timeouts.
All right, I have 24.
You say that, and then Angela starts talking.
I'm very excited. Bushwhacker, St. Louis Ambush,
And the Ambush break up their huddles. Paul's been playing great so far tonight. Some big saves and big moments for the Ambush.
He really has grown into this league as Paolo. I think he's a lot more at ease in his position in the team and in the league and with the boards. I mean, he came from futsal and it was a bit new for him, but he really has become a leader on this team.
Okay, see you with the restart. Takes the shot and a good save right on by Paulo.
And he wants to stay top of that leaderboard in the save percentage.
Oh, absolutely. We got to keep that, of course. Maybe sneak into the goals against average next. A long shot up to Gibson. Gibson, nice thread through the legs, able to move it back to his defense. Sosa sends it back down to Gibson. Has the pressure with McGee. McGee gets the inside, then Reggett comes to help out. He clears that ball all the way down. That's going to stay in play. So Sosa retreats back. Petracek out of his net. Reminder, goalie cannot go past the midfield mark until the fourth quarter.
Much to Paolo's dismay, because we all saw last year that he loved coming forward trying to get some shots away.
A couple goals out of that one is...
Well, he also conceded a few goals from being out of position too.
Sosa to Gibson, and a good chest save, and then the rebound by Gibson. He's able to get it past on the far side, and it's a tie game, 2-2.
Nothing Paolo could do there, though. He made the initial save. He was on his chest as the second rebound came in. I mean, the first shot was so hard he couldn't catch it, but that's Leo Gibson for you. You know, he reacted quickest, he got up, and boom, it's in the back of the net before you even know it.
Tie game once again. Leo Gibson is 7th of the season. He's at the top of goals, assists, and points in the MASL. Antonio Manfoot with it now. Tried to get to Reggett. Adamson having to step forward, able to grab possession. Corey Adamson pulls back, gets to do his defense. It's Pepe. Now Manfoot. Wide open, Corey Adamson. Race to the ball, then sent back by Casey, and that's going to be a foul on the Comets. And Adamson and Lucas Rodriguez pushing back and forth. Rodriguez is trying to help him up, and they exchange words. Tensions slowly start to boil over as they did last game.
Adamson just wanted no part of that. He just was like, get out of my way, I'm getting up.
Corey Adamson off the boards for Zach Reggett. Reggett, Wisconsin native, gets it back for McGee. Over for Antonio Manfoot. Manfoot takes a long shot and a good diving save by Petracek. Off the glass though, goes in front. Manfoot diving for it. As Stokic able to keep it in, almost tripped up by Adamson. But Nacho's going to grab solid possession. Petracek pressured by Adamson. Gets it to Berto.
And here come the Comets once more.
Gibson got the lead pass and goes hard into the boards. It's going to be a foul on the Ambush. And a restart, that's on number 70, McGee. This is first of the half, but Casey a chance to get their first lead of the game. Dropping it back to Rodriguez, a shot taken, blocked in front by the foot of McGee. The Ambush had two men trying to grab that 2-on-1, but Palmer's going to take over. Down for Gibson. Give it go back up to Palmer. That just was in front of him. And Pepe's able to grab that, loses it to Grant. Shot taken, and they score. Anthony Grant, his 4th of the season. And Kansas City has their first lead. It's 3-2.
Well, we had that timeout. And I said they've got to make this pressure tell, and
would like to wish a happy birthday to Landon Schultz.
And it came to pass. Bad defense by the Ambush. They had plenty of time to clear it. They were just banging the ball off the boards, here, there, and everywhere. And it was always rebounding to a Comets player, and he just had plenty of time to struggle at home to Grant.
And last but not least, happy birthday to the player, Dave Burkler.
3-2 now. Kansas City grabs their first lead as Almeida. With Felipe down back for Axel Duarte. Trying to send off the glass, touches the top of the glass, and bounce off the boards. Ambush able to push that forward. Perez being pressured by JT. JT Thomas pressures Perez. Almeida try to push it towards the middle, but Casey's going to send that back towards the corner. Now 3-on-1 for Kansas City. It's Perez. He has Anthony Grant. Tried to use him. Good play by Stinson to break that up. Now the Ambush have numbers the other way. Almeida and JT. Tried to get over to JT. Almeida did. He's knocked down, then pushed on the ball. That's going to be a foul on Sosa.
That was number 19, John Sosa, his third.
Well, I'm amazed it's still 3-2 after the last 20 seconds. Good work by Almeida.
Lucas Almeida with JT on the back door. Takes the shot, immediately blocked by Stokic. Great play by him, the MASL veteran. Guys, get it all the way back for Paulo. The Ambush are going to reset. Stinson barely keeps it in play, but unable to get there was Gibson. Now Gibson trying to push forward, able to steal that from Williams. Here's Almeida. Almeida over to JT, a long shot taken. That was actually Felipe with the shot. Blocked by Petracek. A long heave forward. Gibson settles it with his chest. Bouncing ball settled. And that's going to be lost by Williams. Paulo not touching it. Now he will and sends it to a wide open Stinson on the near side.
Justin Stinson.
Has Gibson to work with. Stinson, nice move to cut to the middle. For Duarte, and a good slide tackle by Stokic. Able to break that chance up. Stinson still pushing it towards the corner. Lots of headers back and forth. Rodriguez pushing it for Stokic. Pressure by Stinson. That's actually Adam James being knocked down now.
In the first quarter, Patrick, I thought it was the Ambush that made the running. You know, obviously they were 2-0 ahead. They were quicker, they were sharper, the passes were crisper. In the second quarter, I think the Comets have used their experience, their league experience, their maturity. They didn't panic. They knew that chances had come. And they just bided their time. When the opportunities arose, they took them and they find themselves now 3-2 ahead. It really has been a game of 2 quarters.
Ambush working with it in midfield. Clayton able to move it down to Regic briefly, now moves over to Adamson on the near side. Over for Clayton. Clayton looking to make some moves around Stokic. Cuts towards the middle, and then he gets the ball knocked off him. So Berto sending it forward. All the way up in the air, goes off the glass. Casey able to settle it. Adamson pressuring along with Clayton, and Paul is going to be able to step up and cleanly move that ball forward. Williams in a race for it against Clayton, able to get there first. Now Togba with under 5 to play. Making some changes is Kansas City. Anderson tries to push forward over to Togba now. James Togba.
The Comets have got all the legs right now. I don't know whether the Ambush came out too hard, too quickly at the beginning of the game.
Gibson for Nacho, back to Gibson. Gibson under a lot of pressure from McGee. Gets his foot in there, tries to push it forward, but KC keeps possession. Now good second effort by Clayton, able to curl that ball all the way down. Adamson closing in on Petracek. Clayton gets that up to Togba. Trying to get around Dos Santos, able to do it to the outside. Now Dos Santos trying to muscle him off the ball, not going to work. Togba takes the shot, and that got a piece of Paulo. Sosa grabs as both teams make changes. Nice touch by Nacho. Back for Sosa, goes off the boards, then a shot taken by Sandoval. He may have just got a piece of that, and it's going to go over the net. And we ambush balls. Dos Santos is down, and an official timeout with just 3:27 left. The ambush working from behind back.
Yeah, it's not been a pleasant 12 minutes this for the ambush. They just haven't really been able to catch their breath. They've been pulled and pushed all over their defensive end as the Comets have kind of worked them. You know, they've gone from a very good position, obviously being 2-0 up, and find themselves 3-2 behind. They've kind of lost their way a bit, the ambush. But as I say, I knew that the Comets would come back into this game, obviously. They're wily, mature veterans of this league. And also, let's not kid ourselves, as I said, Ken Rotvert, with the end of the first period, would have lit a fire under them. He knew that first 15 minutes wasn't acceptable, and they were going to come out and all systems firing and
Star Wars Night is coming up here at the arena
make it right, and they have.
January 19th.
Would have been nice if the ambush could snag one back here and go into the break on level terms. What they can't do is let it fall. So as much as Everton wants them to get in on level terms, he can't have them leaving themselves open at the back.
This Kim was showing some fire in that KC huddle. So you need to keep the pressure up. Been doing a good job of still having some offensive chances despite the fact they're up 3-2.
The ambush really haven't, as I say, they haven't really been able to stamp their authority on the game in this last 12 minutes. You know, they've been dragged all over this field, chasing the ball. The Comets have been passing it around, and every time the ambush have managed to try and get their foot on the ball, they've had to hit it off the wall, and he's found a Kansas City player, and they're right back under the cosh again.
The ambush will start with it deep in their own end, and a giveaway to Perez. 3-on-1 goes over to Grant, and a chance as Paula moves over, but a wide open net for Perez, and it's a 2-goal lead now for the Comets.
And Pepe will want that one right back. It was a bad giveaway to start. There's not much more I can say about that. Pepe totally lost his bearings. The player was moving away from him, and Kansas City was just able to finish it off. So anyway, yeah, Everton, the last thing he wants to do is concede a fourth.
So they credit that to Grant. It looks like Perez who finished that at the top of the circle. To check out that a half is Stokic on pressuring Paulo a lot. And was able to push forward though. Manfoot keeping it in play. Under some pressure by KC Comets, and he's gets his feet taken out from him, and it's going to be a restart for the ambush, trying to get back into this one with just under 3 remaining.
Comets foul number 3, James Tapa, his first.
Manfield pushes it back for Felipe. Now Almeida in for JT. He's met hard, gets it back for Felipe, though, tried to tip it on goal. That was JT Thomas who got a piece of that.
Almeida had to do better there. I don't think he realized the ball was coming that fast to him. He just wasn't able to get enough of the ball. But he was wide open at the back stick.
Antonio Manfoot with it as the ambush gets set up. Has some room to work with, takes a shot in, trying to head that on goal was Gibson. Just goes wide though, KC under some pressure. Robert Palmer, pressured by Gibson, able to push away. He builds up some speed, trying to get it to Anthony Grant. Now Paulo way out of his net, almost an easy goal right there for Berto, but Paulo got back and this time lifts it in the air all the way back for Togba in the KC end. Good header back to Petracek. For Sosa. Knocks off the boards, able to get it to Palmer. Palmer give and go from Gibson. And goes over to the far side. A shot taken hard off the glass. Now Gibson again. Over the far side, Kyle Williams. He has to push it back for Togba with 90 seconds left in this first half. Gibson lifts it over to Williams, has a bounce up to his head and hit him in the face. And he loses that. Almeida clears it.
I just think for the last minute 20 here, the Comets are just going to control the ball as much as they can and not allow the ambush to get a sniff of the goal.
Perez lifts it high in the air for Williams. Williams back for Rowan Palmer.
Less than a play in this half.
Sosa trying to get it to Gibson. Said it's going to go all the way down for Paulo. Justin Stinson losing it. He was trying to grab back possession. Sandovari instead. Lifts it in the air, and Gibson trying to quickly get on, able to do so. Had a shot instead. Tries to get to Williams, and it's kicked away by Felipe. Sosa moves up to Palmer. Palmer against the boards. Pressured by Reggett. Fresh off the bench is Berto. Petracek off the boards. Gibson fighting for it. Nice header in front, that bounces off the boards, and then Paulo gets pushed into by Williams. No call though. Him and Paulo exchange words. Now the ref is going to have to get into it. Reggett getting into this now too. And Perez as Williams as some men hang over to try and separate him. It almost boils over as we end the first half as the ambush trail the Comets 4-2.
That was as big a clinic in indoor soccer as you'll see the last 15 minutes there by the Comets. They controlled the ball, controlled the play, controlled the shots, controlled possession. They had the ambush all over the shop. Defense, they were under the pressure, they were making defensive errors. And as big a contrast to the ambush's dominance in the first quarter as you'll see. The ambush, though, I mean, they seem to play better for me when the chips are down, when they're backed into a corner, so it may be a different third quarter. Everton will have words for them. But Kansas City Comets played exceptionally well there that last 15 minutes. So the tale of two quarters, Patrick.
As 30 minutes are in the books here at the Family Arena, it's the Comets 4, the Ambush 2. We'll be right back with the second half of action here on MASL TV.
Be ready for anything. At Mercy, your life is our life's work.
At this time, please welcome to the field the St. Joseph's Academy Dance Team.
which is going to be awesome. Everybody over here in this section, 108. But get this, you guys, 40 cars in the parking lot are going to have this window clean on them, and that means you also get that car wash inside and out. That's right. They walked around the parking lot. They saw a couple cars they thought needed a little extra love. So be on the lookout for that when you leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the St. Louis Ambush Brigade Days team, joined by the Brigadettes. Your St. Louis Ambush Brigade Days team with the Brigadettes.
One of the biggest things for me is doing the 12-week challenge. My whole family motivated me, and I think that's a huge part of my success. In 12 weeks, I lost 47 pounds.
All right, we're over here. We are getting set up for the Gold's Gym Fitness Challenge. We have two contestants. We're going to go head-to-head. Whoever can complete the challenge the quickest and actually doing everything is going to win 6-month membership to Gold's Gym. So we've got Dan over here in the Cardinal shirt, and we have Jeff over here with the long beard. They're going to take each other on. They're discussing it right now. All right, guys, line up with your ladders. Now they're gonna have to go through the ladders, around the cone, resistance band, around the flag, resistance band again, cones, ladder, back here to win the 6-month membership. You guys ready? On your mark, get set, go! And they're off. Guys, Ambush fans, let me hear you for these two guys. Jeff, you really messed that up, buddy. In Jeff's defense, he's doing it with some sort of fancy shoes on, so makes it a little more difficult. They're coming back. Who do you guys think's gonna win? Oh no! He bit it at the end. Jeff didn't do the ladder right, but Dan didn't do the ladder at all. So Jeff, you are our winner. You're gonna get a 6-month membership to Gold's Gym. Let me hear a big go Ambush.
Go Ambush!
Our fundraising program is about 45 5% profit. We have a personalized website that we will set up for your group or team. This allows for real-time sales. You can go in and pick up the credit card or PayPal account. This eliminates your team having to collect the money. Really simplifies things for everybody in the whole fundraising process. We also have a pizza meter and leaderboard. Every time a sale is made, your name is going to show up on a leaderboard that helps drive a little inner competitiveness between each team member.
The name came after my mom and dad in New York. They would you come and try our product, the quality of the product, and find out it's unlike any other pizza product out there.
If you have any questions or ready to get started on a fundraiser, please reach out to us at www.pandoropizza.com or on our phones at 636-332-9005. Let's go Ambush!
Hey fans, who wants to win a free Ambush t-shirt? For a chance to win, text SHIRT to 72727. Hey fans, Ambush gear is now available. Stop by the merchandise stand near section 121. Also, it's your last chance to purchase bags of mini apples for the Schnooks Apple Toss coming up at the end of the third quarter. The winner will receive a Schnooks gift card. Hey fans, Star Wars Night coming up here on Saturday, January 19th. Get your tickets now by calling the office at 636-477-6363 or stoambush.com. Hey fans, our local Long John Silver and A&W restaurants are locally owned by 2 soccer supporters. A&W Root Beer, head to their locations in Bridgeton and Florissant. Long John Silver's is located in Bridgeton and St. Peter's.
And welcome back in for the second half of play as the KC Comets lead the St. Louis Ambush 4-2. Heading into the second half of this tilt. KC's going to start with the ball. Leo Gibson with it.
We talked earlier in the game about the Ambush needing a big third quarter, as they've done all season. No time like the present to have another big third quarter from the Ambush.
Patrick Kelly and Matt Bird with you on the call. Is Stinson able to get that ball away? No call though. Now goes in hard against the boards against Gibson. Gets the better of that, and he's going to push forward with it. He has Pepe to his left, JT to his right, and loses it. Williams, and a nice step forward by Axel Duarte to keep that in the Ambush possession. Thomas is down low as Almeida has it now. Back for Pepe. Pepe waits and gives it to McGee, who hands it over to Clayton.
Plenty of game left, you know. Still lots of football to play in this game. The Ambush just probing, trying to find a way through.
Pepe's going to send it up the boards. Trying to get there was JT, but that's going to be sent high in the air and out of play by Kansas City.
Could be a restart. And he's just inside the yellow line there. It's going to be a restart from the top of the box for the Ambush.
Patrick was arguing that maybe the ball went out, didn't go out of play until it reached down towards the Ambush side of the field, but it's going to be Rega with the restart. There's Adamson, Dos Santos, and Clayton along with Almeida. Almeida drops it for Rega, takes a shot, blocked in the feet, and cleared all the way down. We have an Comets player down, rather. That's number 20, Stefan Stokic.
He's been playing with that braced knee all game. Went down hard, or we'll see if there's a replay.
He's just lying flat on the field. He is in a lot of pain right now as the KC trainer comes out to attend to him.
Here's the replay now.
So he went down for the block.
I think maybe he just slipped funny, or turned an ankle or something, or landing on his knee. I'm not quite sure what that is. Nothing off the ball, or no player touched him. It's one of them freak injuries you get in soccer. You know, a guy just lands funny and.
He's up and standing at least. Still being evaluated. He looks good to go, but he is going to have to go off for a bit since he was down.
Might have just been winded, you know. I mean,
Let's hear from number 20, Stefan Stokic.
that was a big restart there for the Ambush. They really could have done better there.
It's going to send it all the way down.
Sporting play there by the Comets to give the Ambush the possession back. It's goal time for the Ambush. They have to start making things happen.
So now it's Clayton with it. Clayton cuts towards the middle, sends it all the way off the boards. JT steps forward, able to get a knee on that, but it's going to go all the way back out to midfield, headed by Felipe. Now Adamson against Togba. Togba able to spin around and keep possession. With some speed now, going up against Clayton. Loses it and then sends it back for Nacho. Nacho against JT. Tried to center towards the middle. No one was at home though for Kansas City. Paulo lifted high in the air.
Comets are pressing very, very quickly, very high. I think they're kind of smelling blood here.
Gibson was wide open and wasn't able to settle that. Now he is. Tried to clear it to Perez, stolen by Felipe. And that springs forward Gibson.
No one running up there with Gibson. He had nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to pass with. Did well just to keep possession in the end, Georgia.
To pull it up as Marcos sends it all the way down, trying to find Gibson, but it's going to go right on to Petracek. Now it's KC over to the near side that's going to be deflected into the penalty box. It's going to be KC's ball right in front of their own penalty box. And talking with the off-field officials, perhaps they had a better angle of who touched that.
I think it came off McGee.
Down the main stairs to the lower level for entry onto the field.
God, imagine they're discussing something a little bit more serious than who the ball came off last.
The referee on the box has pulled out the rule book. He's flipping through the pages.
Here at the Family Arena at 7:05. Purchase your tickets now. The Ambush website at stlambush.com.
I'd like to remind everybody during this break real quick, the Ambush, the next away game is going to be December 31st in Milwaukee at 3. Then the next home game, January 5th, versus the Tropics. That's next week at 7 o'clock.
And this suits Kansas City, you know, every break in play, every restart suits the Comets. They'll be wanting to break up the play as much as they can. They don't want the Ambush to get into any kind of rhythm. They don't want them to settle into the game. They want to stop, start, stop, start. That shoots the Comets down to the ground.
We have an illegal substitution warning against the Comets. Again, an illegal substitution against the Comets. Just a warning.
That's the rule they were looking up, an illegal substitution warning for the Comets as Marcos goes down to the ground with Perez.
His first pass.
It was pretty blatant there by Marcos. He was running a risk of getting a blue card there. That was unbelievably reckless.
Nice play for Marcos. Has Gibson with him to the left. Marcos knocked down. No call though as Grant got the better of him. And cleared forward by Casey, and there's the foul. That's going to be on the Ambush, Mario Marcos. It's going to be a second of the half.
Petulant. That was petulant. Calm down. The Ambush need to calm down. They can't let this game get to their heads. There's still 26 minutes of football to play. They're only down by 2. But they can't win with a hand tied behind the back with a guy in the box with a blue card.
Dos Santos holds on to as his team gets set. Manfoot fresh off the bench. Antonio Manfoot already has 1 goal tonight. Drops it back for Axel Duarte. Took a shot blocked in front by Grant. Now Stokic able to head that over to Petracek. loose ball. Almeida tried to step up, but it's going to be Kyle Williams taking over. Sends it back as KC gets everything started. Sends it forward for Gibson. Gibson leaves it for Williams. Takes a shot that bounced off the side of his foot, then goes wide. Williams still pressuring though. Now Reggett, and it's going to be a handball on Kansas City. Ball for Duarte, gave it right away to Gibson. Now Williams tried to give it over to Gibson. It's a slow pass intercepted, and then Reggett goes down hard. Sosa's going to get the foul. He's not happy about that.
Well, it was just like the foul that Leo Gibson got in the first half. I mean, if you're giving that one, you've got to give the one that just occurred.
All we can ask for is consistency.
Yeah, absolutely, and we got it right there.
Stokic in a fight for it with Stinson. Stinson able to steal it away with some speed. Tried to get it to Almeida on the far side. That's intercepted by Williams. Gets it back for Togba. Now Palmer being pressured right by Pepe.
Stinson has been very underrated this season. He's quietly been one of our best producers. He's been like a little jackrabbit this game, running here, there, and everywhere.
Ambush back in their own end. Lee lose it again. Try to get it to Togba. Now Palmer for Gibson. Gibson doesn't have any options. Tries to lift it towards the middle in the box, and a great save by Paulo. Point blank shot taken.
I don't think Paulo knew much about that, but stood up big, and he kind of snuck under Almeida, and he got to Paulo before he realized he just took out a hand and managed to knock it away. Well, those are the kind of saves that win you games, you know.
Pepe moving across the boards, taken down by Togba. It's going to be a foul. Ambush get the quick restart as McGee mishandles that. Just to move it back for Paulo. Corey Adamson. Clayton. Back for Pepe. Pepe works to the outside, then we're going to have a foul called on Kansas City.
Robert Palmer, his first.
Ambush quick to get that restarted again. Clayton cuts towards the middle and a sliding block by Stokic.
Clayton, he's not shy about taking shots from distance, and they're usually on target.
As he shouldn't. He shouldn't be hesitant at all.
No.
McGee trying to get down to Gibson, bounces off a foot. Now McGee able to push that back for Clayton. Clayton, little head fake, trying to get around Perez, and Perez may have sold it there. See Clayton clapping.
That's going to get him in trouble. That's going to get him into more trouble.
He already
First
has
you had
a
the
blue
foul,
card.
and then you've got the dissent on top of it, probably. If I was the referee, I'd absolutely nail him for that. Again, petulant. They can't let their indiscipline get to them because it will cost them.
Ambush, 2-minute penalty, number 12.
So Clayton's going to sit for 2 minutes.
And he's lucky it's not more.
Contact above the shoulder.
It's going to be contact above the shoulder.
So you pulled up a stat just before the game about there being no sure-handed goals this season. There's no time. Oh, no.
What a play by KC. Gibson sends it towards the middle. And it went off of Perez's chest and just barely bounces over Paulo on over his right side. The KC Comets take a big 5-2 lead halfway through the third quarter.
They all count. Look at the replay there. He knew exactly what he was doing. Well done, Perez. Just redirected it past Paulo. Nothing Paulo could do, but I've got to say that goal's on Clayton. You know, there was no need to take the foul, and we find ourselves in a bigger hole now.
Felipe for Corey Adamson, quickly trying to get back into this. Reggett. Instead, Berto just gives it back to his keeper. Got your check. Even at 4.
After the last 2 games, Comets know that Reggett's a danger man, and they've kind of muscled him out of this game. They've not allowed him any time or space.
being pressured by Gibson. Gibson comes away with it, goes in front, and the Kansas City Comets are able to lift that over Paulo. It's 6-2 now.
Well, the Ambush were down by 4 2 weeks ago, and they found themselves in a similar position right now. But again, this is not the same Kansas City Comets from 2 weeks ago. They've got the pep in their step. They've got the momentum. And the Ambush now really have to get something going, because otherwise it's damage control.
We'd like to remind everyone that the Ambush would like to thank Mitre USA for providing today's match balls. Mitre, founded in Huntersville, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Mitre is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Mitre share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Mitre's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Mitre's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight path than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it more effective in arena soccer.
Everton does not look happy. He's barking at his players. He knows how big this game is. He is absolutely furious.
It seems like a lot of these goals too the Ambush have let up are preventable. Let alone not only that blue card, but there's just been times where a little lapse of judgment has ended up costing them.
All the good work from the first 15 minutes of this game has gone down the tubes. And they've got to find it again. Whatever mojo they had in that first 15 minutes, they've got to find it again. And they've done it before. Well, they've come back before. But they've got it. Whatever they had, they've got to find it again and quick. The trouble is, I can't see this Kansas City Comets team allowing them to come back from 4 goals like they did 2 weeks ago.
Start with it. It's JT starting. The Comets' next home game is going to be Sunday, January 6th against Florida at 4 o'clock. So Tropics make their way up, and they're going to be in St. Louis the night before. That's the Ambush next home game, January 5th at 7 o'clock. And a reminder, is also like to remind you that Saturday, January 19th versus Utica at 7 is going to be Star Wars night here at the Family Arena.
Utica flying high in their division right now too. That's another tough game the Ambush have got to face. But a great goal!
Oh my goodness, JT off the boards, spins around in the Ambush, have some life.
And I was just about to say, you know, that JT, Manfoot, Clayton, they've not really got into the game since the first 10 minutes of the contest. And just like that, he gets the ball off his chest, off the board, spin, shot, goal. More of that. Great right foot rifle on the turn, on the volley. And that could be a little spark that gets the Ambush back in this game.
It's going to be JT's 4th goal of the season. And it's a 3-goal game now. Well, halfway through the 3rd quarter, sent up quickly to Gibson, unable to get the mark on that. So Paulo, it's a nice little header. Now Pepe with a lot of room to work. Thought about sending it deep instead over to Duarte. And fresh off the bench is Felipe. Felipe sending it down the boards. Reggett trying to get the inside. Now Petracek way out of his net. Ambush almost took advantage of that, but Casey able to grab solid possession in their own end. Nice play by Palmer to get around one man, then Reggett knocked him off the ball, but now it springs Williams. He has Gibson instead takes a shot that rings off the crossbar. Is now Justin Stinson able to get around a man. He was almost all alone, lost the ball, but Almeida able to retrieve it. Gets it for Justin Stinson. Stinson's going to send it back for Felipe. Ambush gets set up. McGee takes a shot blocked in front by Leo Gibson and knocked off the boards. McGee's able to beat Berto to that.
Good recovery by McGee there.
think he has a lot of room to work. As Felipe wide open on the near side, goes down to Almeida. Almeida trying to get it to JT, but headed away by Leo Gibson. Stinson, nice little head fake, takes a shot. That goes off the shin of Gibson. Now Almeida, a long heave, and that goes off the glass up top.
Best spell in the last 20 minutes is for the ambush.
Stinson went down into the corner. That's going to be a foul on Kansas City. On Nacho. The big restart for the ambush. Stinson thinking about taking that. Now Felipe is going to take over.
Timeout. They want to talk about this, and quite rightly they should as well. This is a big, big free kick for the ambush. I don't know what it was, but again, they kind of stepped on the gas a bit, the ambush there. I mean, they've got no choice, they've got to. Let's not kid ourselves. They found themselves 6-2 down with only 20 minutes to play. But hopefully that goal from JT will give them a little life, a little belief, a little momentum going forward. Oh, but what a goal it was too. Off the boards, turn, rocket of a shot with his right foot. He caught that so clean. And I think Everton knows just how big that goal was.
He's got the whiteboard out, talking it over with his squad.
Hey fans, do you have a group of 10 or more? Purchase your group tickets at the sales table near section 121.
Reminder, stay with us after the game. We will have the 3 stars of the game, followed by interviews with both teams. We'll go down on the field with Angela Sharp for that. The ambush able to break their huddle.
After that goal, I can't imagine Brian Perez being as despondent as he was after this game as he was in the last. What a smart play that was. Off his chest, just diverted the ball past Paolo. Really smart play. I know the ambush are 3 goals down at this point, but this has been an excellent indoor soccer game by both teams. With just a couple of defensive errors have let Kansas City open the door.
So Almeida with the restart. He's got Clayton, Dos Santos, Adamson, and Reggett all the way on the far side. It's a 2-man wall set up by KC. Almeida tried to pass it towards the middle, intercepted by Palmer. Gets past Dos Santos, and Reggett able to step forward. Pushes that back towards midfield. Kansas City keeps possession though.
I hope that free kick looked better on the whiteboard than it did in real life.
Paulo had to step forward, makes a nice hand save. Now I'll reach forward for that one. Cleanly gets it to Dos Santos. Clayton Pedalera. Gets it into the corner. Stinson keeps it in. Goes back to Dos Santos. Good ball movement by the ambush as Dos Santos had some space. Where KC caught up to him. Mario Marcos has 2 men on him, gets it to Clayton. Thought about shooting instead, back to Duarte.
Another goal here for the ambush would do them wonders, you know, last 4 minutes of this third quarter.
Left it for Dos Santos, goes off the boards in front and lifted in front, but no one but Comets were there, able to push it forward. Grant racing after it, can't beat Mario Marcos to it.
Here comes Clayton.
Clayton with a lot of speed. Tries to get around Togba. Togba goes down. Maybe a nice play to separate Clayton from the ball. And then JT tried to keep it and goes off his foot. That's going to be Kansas City ball.
Kansas City just need to slow this game down a bit. The ambush, you called it there, the ambush passing there was a lot sharper, a lot cleaner. One-touch play. Straw ball.
Gibson on the back door as Sandovari takes a shot. Paul makes a good save on the initial shot, but just wide open in front was Gibson. Easily heads that ball in. And 7-3, another 4-goal lead by Kansas City late in this third quarter.
Pepe's got to do better there, you know. got to do better. He came at him quick with the rebound from Paolo, but he's got to get that away. You know, Gibson's always lurking there. You know, you give Gibson a sniff and he'll take it.
It's going to be Gibson's second goal tonight, his 8th on the season. What I believe would be his 3rd point on the night as well, as he absolutely has 1 assist. Ambush trying to climb back in this one before the 4th quarter starts. It's Corey Adamson. Cuts the middle, a lot of space and took a shot, but a diving block in front. Sends that ball all the way back to midfield. Corey Adamson again to Antonio Manfoot. Manfoot lifts it into Gibson, thought about heading it, and Petracek went up and collided with one of his teammates.
I think Petracek was caught in 2 minds whether he was going to catch it or push it or punch it. He ended up not doing any of those.
Foul going to be on Williams against Manfoot. Ambush within their own end.
And as the Ambush push forward to try and get in this game, they're going to leave the back door open, and the Comets are going to catch them on the break.
Adamson with a lot of space, gets it to Pepe with some speed, gets it to Gibson in the middle, and he took a shot that went off the glass, and that could be a foul on the Comets, and it will. So another big restart for St. Louis.
Restart for the Ambush.
Good play by Pepe there. He knew he was going to get clobbered. And he just took one for the team. He knew he was going to get clobbered, and he knew it was going to be a free kick, but he knew he needed to.
Adamson for McGee. Leaves it Manfoot. A hard shot taken. Right on. Easy save by Petracek. Pepe, some nice moves. Gets around one man, then he's taken down. So a foul going to go against Togba. Ambush quickly restarted. Manfoot down for Gibson. Settles it. In the inside was a Comet. Ambush able to push that away from Petracek though. The KC cleanly knocks off the boards and pushes forward. Good play by Gibson, but he's going to get the foul called on him. Kansas City gets it at midfield.
Just a slight push, nothing more, but that's all it took. You know, you don't take, when you're flying at speed like that, it doesn't take much of a contact to send a guy over.
Stinson moving forward with it. Loses it to Nacho. Nacho able to clear it all the way down. Gibson in a foot race against Duarte. Duarte is able to get the better of him there. And for Pepe. Pepe back in his own end, gets it for Paulo. Now Zach Reggett.
This game has just gone into 5th gear. It just seems to be flying now. The tackles are flying in. The speed of the game's ratcheted up.
Stinson trying to send it down to Reggett. He falls down. Kansas City still in their own end. Under some pressure, gets it for Stokic. He clears out to open field on the near side. Anthony Grant gets around a man, and then Stinson goes in hard against him. No call though. And Stinson's going to push forward with it. To Lucas Almeida. Almeida waits, tried a shot that was blocked in front by Foot. Goes back for Felipe.
Not much else that Almeida could do, but you can't shoot it past 5 guys.
Try to give and go between him and JT, then Almeida was taken down, and it's going to be a restart.
Right in the D.
That's foul number 24, Mirko Sandovari, his first.
So it fouls on Sandovari. And they don't look like they're going to take a timeout here. We have Almeida and McGee. Stinson to the right behind him, and down low to the left is JT Thomas.
Stinson's all alone there, and he's going to hit it.
And he scores! Justin Stinson with a one-timer, and it's 7-4.
Told you, been our most underrated player this season, Justin Stinson. Came up big there. Rocket of a shot, not much Petracek could do. I mean, he just flew past him.
Great play by the ambush. Just a soft touch by Almeida, and Stinson just rips that into the corner.
Scored by number 21, Justin Stinson. Assisted by number 10, Lucas Almeida. Stinson from Almeida.
Having a little back and forth now like we had in the last matchup between these two teams.
I think KC won't panic though. If they keep the lead around 3-4 goals and
Tagua Perez. Petracek under some pressure.
Last minute of play in this quarter.
Boots it into the corner. Gibson against Duarte. Sends it all the way back, but it's going to go out of play. That's going to be ambush ball in their own end. Dos Santos with Duarte. Lucas Almeida. Back for Duarte again, just 38 seconds remain. Over to Stinson. Tried to cut towards the net, but that gets knocked away from him. Ambush has to go back and reset. And get one last shot off before this quarter ends. Getting it down for Zach Reggett. Reggett does a nice job pushing that ball away. Gets possession, still under a lot of pressure. 2 KC Comets on him. Great job pushing away, and then a wide open Stinson that goes off of Duarte's foot. Down for Almeida, off the boards. Now Reggett the header, and a great play by Petracek to get back to his feet and grab that.
And Reggett got blasted in the balls there. He's trying to head it in. He's holding his arm up. I think he got his arm crushed between his body and the boards. That could have been it, I mean, you're in the fourth quarter down by 2. Whole different prospect. I've got to be honest, the ambush have done well to keep this close. But, it's a coulda, woulda, shoulda situation, Patrick. 2 bad defensive plays to give Comets goals, and we could be looking at a whole different ball game here.
To remind everybody, outside of being on the team, the best way to know what's happening in the MASL is to tune in to Kick This. Every weekend, Soccer Sam discusses the ins and outs of all the MASL action. Find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio.
Everybody ready? All right, I'm going to come.
Mentioned it before, our next game is away in Milwaukee on New Year's Eve. And that'll be a test, That's when we'll really know where this team's at. If we can hang with Milwaukee, then we'll know that this is a legit team. Milwaukee are, I think, the class of the division.
Have been for a couple of years at that.
Ian Bennett's a goal machine. He'll put our defense to the test. But again, I think our team can rise to the occasion. If Milwaukee take us somewhat complacently, then they're in for a game. And I want to see the ambush not be afraid to go into these teams' arenas and play like they don't belong there, because they absolutely do.
Well, definitely one team last year that showed a lot of promise when playing was the Wave. I mean, that first couple games against the Wave, they slowly started to get back into it, and by the end of the year, they were even with them in games.
And I remember last season we took Milwaukee all the way to overtime one game, and that's, again, you talk about these close games that the ambush lost last year. They've got to find a way to win those close games, and they have been. To be fair, the first 5 games of the season, they won 3 really close games. But that'll be the make or break of the season for me, is being able to get over the line when they're up against it.
They want to hear you scream.
The Wave currently sit first in the South Central Division at 3-0. Right behind them is St. Louis at 3-2, then Florida, Orlando, and rounding out the South Central Division is Kansas City at 1-4.
Well, as we said, Kansas City, these Comets, they're not a 1-4 team. The record belies the talent on the field. Just waiting for the kids here to clean up the balls on the field, and we'll be back underway for the 4th. I think Everton will be encouraged by the last 5 minutes of that 3rd quarter. He still looks upset with life. But he's got to take some heart in the fact that this team hasn't totally given up the ghost. And again, I do feel that the Ambush are a better team when their backs are against the wall. They tend to rise to the occasion. But I was worried there for a while that the game was kind of going to get away from the Ambush and the Comets were just going to, you know, play deep and then hit them on the counter. Because Gibson and Perez and Togba, they had a couple of 3-on-1s. It could have been a lot worse.
Ambush just about to get set. We'd like to also tell everybody that on January 10th, the St. Louis Blues will be home against the Montreal Canadiens, and it's going to be soccer night at the Enterprise Center. As you can use the code AMBUSH and get a free Blues jersey, Blues soccer jersey rather. The Ambush should be a part of that.
I've seen those jerseys, the blue and white, the blue and yellow hoops. They
Very
look
nice.
sharp.
Back and forth. Excellent, excellent soccer jerseys to add to a collection along with your Ambush and Steamers merchandise.
All right, big 15 minutes coming up here. It could define the season, this, for the Ambush. They've got to hit the ground running here. The crowd, this is the loudest the crowd's been all night. They know it too.
Lucas Almeida gets it for the Ambush. Here's Stinson, Duarte, Pepe, and Reggett out there. Fit into the corner, barely keeping it in play. And spinning around is Perez, sending that back out to midfield. Easy settle for Pepe. Stinson down to Reggett. Right back out to Stinson. Reggett again, but Stinson was knocked down on the play, and that's going to be a restart for the Ambush. Quickly restarting and sending it over to Almeida. He lifts that high in the air into the netting.
He knew he wants that one back. He got totally under that shot and blew it high. And that's a chance, you know. That was a chance. He had plenty of time. He could have settled the ball down and had a better look on target.
Definitely caught KC off guard as they try to push forward. It's Nacho losing it. Now Clayton trying to grab that. Adamson on it as well, but it's going to be pushed forward for Palmer. A 3-on-2 for KC, maybe a 4-on-2 if they hurry. Now Palmer trying to get around McGee. He can't. Gets into the corner. Give and go to Palmer, and a shot taken. Goes off the boards.
And Palmer, for the longest time there, had Gibson free. And Gibson was screaming at him to pass.
Now they'll get it up for Gibson. Hit him below the belt. He's fine though as Gibson gets it over and then trying to move it back to Nacho as there's 5 Ambush in that area. They clean move it back to Togba. Alberto moves in, trying to get around Clayton, takes a shot and a knee save for Paulo. Headed up in the air by JT, and then Togba gets sent flying in the air. Both of them get the worst part of that. They're both down on the field.
Yeah. Togba went right through the back of JT, though, I feel. Yeah. There's the replay, but I think Togba came right over the top of. There it is.
He elbowed him in the head. That's why he's holding his head. I think Togba landed hard on that wrist. That's what he was grabbing. What's he still grabbing?
Hey fans, here are the Enduro Pizza winners.
I think JT's ears are going to be ringing for a bit there. That was right on the back of the head.
Jerry Krieger, Ray House, Sim Allen, Harvey Selleck, Jessica Allen, Kristen
JT
Fox,
going off. He's
Tim Stetcher,
needs to find his feet
Jill
again,
Sanders,
JT.
and Dave Strunk. Please report the Enduro Pizza table on the conflict.
That's going to be a 2-minute penalty. Looks like on KC, Togba specifically.
Well, yeah, I mean, if Clayton goes off for hands above the neck, then Togba went off for the same thing.
Once again, the Ambush are going on a
Ambush headed to
insurance. Mark
power play. They're at 10% so far on the year.
And I believe it wasn't Togba who got the penalty, it was James, because Petracek said something to the referee, so James has gone into the box. It's a blow for the Comets, because James has been a good little producer with 5 goals so far in the season for the Comets. Big 2 minutes here in this game, Patrick. Ambush have to get something here.
Correction on the penalty. The penalty to number 3, James Togba, was not for a foul. The penalty was 2 minutes direct.
So they're still trying to work it out over there.
Well, I think it was just a regular foul against Togba, but then I think Petracek said something to the referee, got a blue card for dissent, and James is going to take the 2 minutes in the box. But the referee is still calling. The referees are still going to get together and talk about this.
Well, they're on the near side talking over. Kim and Everton are briefly talking over the play on the benches. So giant opportunity here for the Ambush to get back in there. They get a goal here, rather. Suddenly morale is on their side.
Surprised Paolo didn't bring that out. He can go over the halfway line now.
Maybe make it 6-on-4. It's Lucas Almeida with it. Down to Zach Reggett. Now Clayton. Down for Reggett. He's played a lot of this game. Leaves it. Almeida then trying to spin around was McGee. He was knocked down. 3-on-2 the other way. Here comes Togba after a change. Try to give it over, but it's intercepted by Almeida. Now it's a 2-on-1. If Clayton just barely lost it there, so it's gonna
got stuck on Clayton's feet there. He just lost his mojo. Otherwise, the Ambush were away.
Lucas Almeida.
Minute to go on the penalty.
For Reggett. Almeida again. Pushes forward with it. Waits, takes a shot, just barely misses wide of the net. The rebound bounces off the boards for Clayton. Pepe and Clayton go back and forth. Now Zach Reggett. Almeida. Inside for McGee. Reggett has Pepe on the back door, instead goes over to Clayton on the far side. Now down low, Pepe cuts across, takes a shot, gets lifted high in the air. That's going to touch the netting, but it's going to be a corner for the Ambush as Petracek dove down to save that.
Ball is stuck in the netting.
I think the referee was trying to call somebody over tall enough. I don't know who is on the field right now that would be the Petracek, but it's going to be a corner for Almeida.
Good news for the Comets there. They get a little break, they get a little breather here, they can manage to regroup. 28 seconds left of the penalty.
Try to leave it for Almeida, then immediately hits Togba, goes back out for Clayton. English have to work fast, Clayton. Down low, Adamson for Reggett. So Clayton again, thought about shooting. Reggett winds up, fires it, and then block in front. Lifted high in the air, McGee tries to head it. Adamson on that one. Able to get it to Reggett as this penalty is about to expire. Almeida takes a shot. That's going to go all the way back to Paulo as Togba is out of the box. And he's going to get a foul, and that could be a blue card, and it will be on Clayton. His second blue card of the game.
For the same offense, hands above the neck. It was. He can't argue.
So Casey, another power play opportunity, already 1 for 1 on it. 11 minutes left, and now Petracek can come out, and he can use him on this power play.
Attention coaches and club managers, help your players learn how to have an unbreakable mindset and perform their best under pressure.
Kansas City still trying to work out, then it's going to do an easy start up for Rodriguez. Ambush have their box set up.
The Comets don't really have to score, they just want time off this clock.
Might just pass it on top instead, sending it down low. Perez a shot and a good chest save by Paulo. Now again a chance for Perez, bouncing ball. Gets blocked by Paulo and sent out to midfield. Rodriguez back to retrieve it. About to step forward, instead gets it over to Sosa. Rodriguez back for Sosa. And he's going to go back and forth, killing time with just 1:15 now left on their power play.
Again, they're just killing the clock.
Gibson tried to step to the middle, loses it to Pepe. Pepe under a lot of pressure though from two Comets and sends a man to the ground. That was Rodriguez, no call though. Sosa charges forward.
If it was 5-on-5, they'd have called that foul.
Now KC cuts them in on a great play by Duarte to break that up right before a shot was taken. Now it goes into the inside and a great save by Paulo on Perez and lifted high in the air by Pepe. Able to get it to midfield. Now Sosa with 30 seconds left on the power play for Rodriguez. Back to Sosa, has some room to work inside. Gibson takes a shot and he scores, getting it past Paulo. And it's 8-4, the second power play goal of the game for Kansas City.
The Ambush have got one of the worst penalty kills in the league so far, and it just, again, it's a dagger to the heart, really.
You see, gives it inside to Gibson on the replay.
You can't give him that much space. I mean, he had the entire box to work with there. He doesn't, you can't give Leo Gibson that much space.
That is going to be Gibson's hat trick, his 9th on the season. That very well could put him at the top of not just points, but goals in the league. As Stokic gets it up for Williams. Williams losing it to Manfoot. The other way, here come the ambush. Antonio Manfoot for JT, back to Manfoot, and the pass didn't have enough juice on it. So 3-on-1 the other way for Kansas City. They make a change, it's a 3-on-2. Berto cuts it to the middle, but Felipe is going to intercept that. And Stinson, or JT rather, is going to send it all the way down, try and find Manfoot. Petracek out of his net to play it. Playing that to Berto. Perez in front of the bench as he waits.
Again, KC are just playing around with it, dragging the ambush here, there, and everywhere. The ambush have got to move the ball quick, try and make something happen.
Dos Santos trying to send it all the way down for Gibson, goes off a foot. Going to be kept in by Kansas City, down for Perez in the corner. Pressure by Dos Santos. Almost pushed off the ball, but sends it all the way back for Sosa. And Sosa again from Nacho. Sosa with Gibson on him, gets it back to Petracek. Under 8 remaining. Casey just keeping it.
They'll do this all the rest of the game. They're quite happy, just pass it around, make the ambush chase, wear them out, tire them out, catch them on the break, try and extend that lead when they can, but not take any risks doing so.
Gibson knocks off the boards in front. Paulo able to save that ball, push it back up to his hands. The Ambusher going for a change. Marcos played it. Kansas City wanted a too many men call, but Reggett's going to come away with it.
The Ambush got away with one there.
Now Paulo passes midfield for the first time this game. Ambush changing it to McGee for Paulo. Paulo drops back a bit as Corey Adamson has it. Gets it off the board, trying to give it in front. Now Stinson, and as that ball was spinning and it's sent high in the air, KC gets the restart.
Official timeout on the field.
The official timeout is the Ambush are moving out of their bench. You see Lucas Almeida in that extra jersey just in case. In the light green.
Maybe a little too late now. I mean, 4 goals in 6 minutes is going to be a tall order, but you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained at this point, I guess. Well, the Ambush have done pretty well to keep this relatively close. I mean, the Comets would get 4, 5 goals ahead. The Ambush would close it to maybe 3, but the Ambush never really got close enough to make the Comets really sweat. Aside the first 10 minutes of the game, it's been a very competent performance by the Comets. The kind of performance I was actually expecting in the last 2 games. But they really have stamped their authority on this game.
Ambush just about done talking it over.
Dedication and love of country.
A nice military salute here at the Family Arena for all men and women who have served.
Okay, big last 6, 7 minutes here for the Ambush. To some degree, damage limitation. Try and get something. Play for a little bit of pride. Give this crowd another something more to cheer about. You know, set yourself up, give yourself a bit more momentum going into the game in New Year's Eve. Jamie Elrich there on the broadcast. He's a massive Ambush fan.
Came up and visited us during the halftime. Usually gets a chance to get up here, say hi to everybody, including his buddies who work stats just down from us. He gets great seats every game as well.
I think he lives for
Right
this.
behind the
I mean, you know, every single game, Jamie's here. Out of play from Grant. There's going to be a quick change for both teams.
Almeida out there for Paulo rather, is on the bench. Clayton moving it down back to Clayton. Over to Zach Reggett. Reggett takes a shot that stays on the ground, deflected wide. And on that is Grant. Anthony Grant cuts it to the middle for Stokic. He tried a bicycle kick, and that's bouncing. Clayton gets back, and he just barely keeps that out of the net. Good hustle.
No danger. We always had it covered there, Clayton.
Grant trying to pass it in the midfield, loses it. Dos Santos grabs it. Back for Clayton, and now Almeida can head over. Back for Lucas Almeida. There's number 66 on the back of that extra jersey.
Yeah, they've not given Reggett the time or space that he's enjoyed in the previous 2 games. They realise that he's a big threat in this game, and he's just not had the. He's getting the respect of the league now. They know he's a danger man.
Behind the play, Reggett knocked down, I believe, by Stokic. Now McGee and him exchange words. Pepe getting into that now. So the Ambush got to watch out here. They do not need a blue card in the dying moments of this fourth. And they're going to send them both, it looks like.
Stokic is gone. He's pleading his case.
He's getting a blue card. I don't know if Reggett's going. The Ambush box is open.
Well, Reggett's going to get plenty of space in that box on his own now.
We have 2 penalties on the play. Against the Comets, number 3, Stefan Stokic, and his number
There's 5:30 left. Crowd's gonna play some 4-on-4 ball. Adamson and Perez talking over at the refs, trying to figure out the details of everything.
Penalty was pushing against both individuals.
Both individuals are going to get pushing as there's 2 minutes on the box for each of them. Now the play was behind us. See if we get a replay of this.
Then they're just going to drop the ball and let the play go. Don Tebow, the referee there with the ball, a good friend of mine. Very competent local referees, refereed in a couple of USL games, Open Cup games.
We're going to get
drop ball, here we go.
And we should push that forward. Pepe trying to get to it, but it's going to go all the way back to Petracek. Almeida all the way back in net for the ambush. Gibson left it. Oh, Anthony Grant. Gonna leave it all the way back for Sosa. Petracek again holding on to it. Now he sends it all the way down. Gain their first is McGee. He knocked off the ball, and that's going to be a foul on the ambush.
Yeah, I think it was the shot. I saw McGee tugged on Gibson's jersey there, and pretty easy call. I saw it from up here. The referee's not going to miss it from down there.
So Rodriguez with the restart. And it is going to be on McGee as Casey's just going to send it all the way back. So we'll play 4-on-4 for another 80 seconds. It's sent in the corner. Gibson heads it. Already has a hat trick tonight. And then back for Sosa as Petracek moves out of his net. Moves into a defensive position, and he has all the time in the world to work with instead. They're just going to move it around the wheel.
Well, the Comets let slip a 4-goal lead 2 weeks ago. They're not going to make the same mistake twice. They really have controlled this game. Once they got ahead, they're really in no danger of letting this game go.
Almeida will just immediately grab that no goalie gloves, just drops it for himself and heads to midfield. It's Pepe now.
I mean, the Ambush have done well to try and keep with it, keep grinding, get it as close as they can. Every time they seem to pull a goal back, the Comets would go back up and extend the lead again.
Down for Corey Adamson. Goes all the way back for Almeida. Able to cleanly get that to Pepe. Pepe pulls up at the yellow line. Almeida for Pepe again. Waits now. Almeida winding up, takes a shot, and that goes into the netting behind the goals. We are back at even strength. As Reget's going to stay out there, Stokic heads to the bench. So on that 4-on-4, Reget would be one player that the Ambush would definitely want out there.
Absolutely. As I say, I don't think he's been given the time or the space that he's got in the previous 2 games because they know he's a danger man. You know he's a guy to watch. And it's Gibson all alone again. But yeah, Reget, he made things happen, you know. He's young, he's enthusiastic, he's very talented on the ball, takes shots, and he makes things happen. And that 2 minutes of him not being available hurt the Ambush.
Petracek sends it all the way forward, headed in the air by Felipe, and then out of play. Kansas City's going to get the ball, I believe, in the corner. They're at the top of the box, actually.
A little harsh. I thought he would have gone out for a corner myself, but
Sosa takes a shot, gets it through the box, or the wall rather the ambush had set up. It's 9-4.
Smart play by Sosa. Just a little fake there. Had Paolo committed and then just slide it past him.
Well, not only Paolo committing, but he gets his box to break up
just
with
a little dummy there.
It opened right up between Reggett.
Yep, the little dummy, the wall parted like the Red Sea for Moses, and Sosa was able to just slot the ball into the corner.
So Sosa, his 4th goal of the season. That should close it out for Kansas City, now up 9-4.
And you got to say, worthy winners of this game.
Absolutely. Made adjustments after that first quarter. Ambush dominated, and then that second quarter they really took authority.
Yeah, and fair play to them. They whatever Ken said after the end of the first quarter, they listened and they.
Manford, that big boot, and that's been the story of the game for the Ambush. Just not on target.
Not on target,
but netting.
But the Comets have forced the Ambush to take shots from distance, and it's very difficult to score past Brett Petracek from 20, 25 yards out.
And 2 men back against Togba. He's able to push it forward. That's going to be a foul on Clayton. Casey will get all the way back on their own end.
And Clayton, with his 2 trips to the box, he's kind of over this game.
Lifted high in the air, good header by Dos Santos, still up. And Gibson can't get there. Clayton got there first, now Gibson on it. Can't get around Stinson. Defers it back for Berto. Oh, Berto again. Gives it back for Togba. No Petracek waiting. Togba again with 2 minutes remaining in this game. And Casey is pulled away from, they send it against the board, just barely bounces out of play. So the Ambush are going to get that ball. Clayton with the restart. Almeida's still out there in the extra jersey. Dos Santos in for Gibson. To Manfoot. Bouncing ball just goes wide. And then Grant going up against Almeida, gets past him. Clayton racing back, but that's going to be, oh no, not an open netter. Went off the post again. Almeida able to get back now. Togba tries to cut to the middle. Good play by Clayton to knock him off the ball with 80 seconds left in the game.
I'd have put my mortgage money on that ball going in. How many shots have come off the post tonight?
We'll start a running count next game. that will be our next stat this game, or that next game.
Have a little clicker.
Exactly. Sure, we know an umpire or something that has one of those little things.
Just ask the stats guys.
Yeah.
Last minute play in this game.
It's kind of crazy, you know. Brett Petracek has played better in the game 2 weeks ago, but lost. But I don't think he's had to play too well tonight.
I don't think he's been tested yet to the degree he was
tested.
2 games ago.
You know, he's done everything that's been asked of him, and another one off the post.
That time off the inside of the post, and Petracek has to dive back to grab that one from Gibson. Just 30 seconds left in this game as a long heave up to Gibson. 2-on-1 with Grant, gets it in. Grant trying to get around Almeida. He doesn't. Manfoot sliding, but that's going to be the 10th goal of the game. It goes to Anthony Grant.
And that was always coming. I mean, Almeida was struggling there.
Ambush want to thank the Post
And it's now turned into a bit of a rout as the Ambush pushed forward, leaving gaps in the back. As I say, the Ambush did well for the first, 50 minutes of this game, trying to claw back, trying to keep it close. But the Comets, every time the Ambush got a sniff of a comeback, the Comets just pulled away. And again, been worthy winners in this game.
So Ambush just going to run the clock out on this game as they're going to move to 503 overall. Meanwhile, Kansas City moves to 2-4 this year. Also, their second win on the road. They go to 2-2 on the road. Still yet to get a home win. 0-2 so far. As it goes over for Felipe. He missed that shot, and it goes back to Paul, and that is the end of the game as the Kansas City Comets defeat The ambush 10-4.
A little harsh on the ambush. I don't think the Comets were 6 goals better tonight, but the ambush put themselves in a hole and just couldn't dig their way out of it, and the Comets were able to capitalize. You know, they were able to pick them off at the back. You know, maybe that last goal against Lucas, there was maybe some salt in the wound, but the Comets were not going to be defeated tonight. I think the last 2 games stung, hurt their pride, and they came here tonight on a mission. Leo Gibson, again, I mean, we know what he can do. I mean, he's been a thorn in the ambush side for the best part of 3 years now. You know, he got the hat trick. Worthy winners, and that's what the ambush, you know, they're not going to have it their way all the time, and the ambush have to take these knocks, and they have to come back and go strong, and they've got to be ready for Milwaukee, because Milwaukee are the class of this division. You know, that's on New Year's Eve. That'll be on MASL TV again. The game starts at 3 o'clock Central.
It's an early start, plenty of time to watch a game and then get to any festivities you need to have for.
I got 3 kids, man. I don't have festivities.
No, you don't. No.
You can go out and have fun. Tell me how it is.
I don't think so. I'm going to stick around, but we are going to
fans, it's now time for the Tucanos ambush 3 stars of tonight's game.
Here at the Family Arena, but before that,
3rd star for the ambush, number 13, Axel Duarte.
Angela Sharp in 1 second. She's going to have, after the 3 stars of the game,
the number 2 star
interviews.
Number 0, Antonio Manfoot.
Antonio Manfoot with the 2nd star.
And tonight's Tucano, number 1 star of the game.
Lost his way. He took a lot of shots.
1 goal tonight. Again, number 20, JT Thomas.
You know, you're not going to beat Brett Petricek.
JT will receive a dinner for 2 at Tucano's Brazilian
early on
Grill.
In the game, give him a bit of confidence.
So JT gets the 1st star of the game for the ambush.
With a great goal. Absolutely stunning goal. And JT's not played much this season. I think this was only his 3rd game. He's only played when Everton's been out. But, you know, really, really stellar goal by JT.
It looks like perhaps Stinson's going to be heading over. Here comes the KC comment on over to the interview area. We're going to send it down to the field with Angela Sharp.
All right, I am down here with Brian Perez, the captain of the KC Comets. Now, you guys have played in the ambush the last 2 games for tonight, and the ambush won by 1 goal. Did you adjust your style of play coming into tonight's game?
No, it's just discipline and playing together and, you know, being a little bit with more chemistry. I think that was the key for us.
Now, the ambush kind of came out really quick, but then you guys had their number the rest of the game. What do you attribute that to?
No, I mean, St. Louis Ambush is a very good team, so, you know, obviously kudos to them. We fought. It's always a good game with them. You know, obviously it was good for us today.
Today was definitely good for you. You're in a much better mood than the last time I interviewed you. So what are you going to work on this next coming week before your next game?
Consistency. You know, obviously, you know, trying to keep consistent, you know, going through.
We like it. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And then I have our St. Louis Ambush number 1 star of the game, James Thomas, JT, The Weekend. The Weekend is joining me right here. All right, you got the number 1 star of the game, but you guys have a defeat. What are you guys going to work on in the coming week?
We just got to continue to work on our press. Our defensive play wasn't good enough tonight. We're going to pick it up over the next few days. We've got another tough game against Milwaukee coming up, so ready to get to work.
Now, the last 2 games you guys played against KC, you guys won. What was the difference between those 2 games and tonight?
It's always tough playing against an opponent 3 times in a row, and an experienced Kansas City, you're going to eventually slip up somewhere, so we got to get back to the grind.
But you yourself had a good game, got a goal. That was pretty good. What are you thinking about when that goal goes in? I always want to know what somebody's thinking about when it goes in.
I was hoping it was going to be a momentum swing, and the team was going to really pick it up and push on and make the chase a little bit more.
Hey, there you go. All right, well, good luck to you guys next week. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Angela. As we're going to wrap it up here in the booth, the ambush. Are there any last thoughts, Matt?
I think JT said it right there. I mean, he was hoping that goal, as good as it was, you were hoping it was going to be a little momentum sprint, you know, give them a little spar, give them something to hang the hat on, but it wasn't to be. Again, experienced Kansas City Comets team. You know, they closed the
I'm
game
glad
out
you guys
well.
are so loud because I sometimes
The ambush have
forget.
got a lot of work to do,
We have
especially
the
on the
submarine
defensive
king
side of
over
the
here at
field.
105. What do
They've
you
got a
got
lot of
over
work to
here?
do this week because they're Milwaukee going to put the defense to the test.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Top up here. The ambush lose to the KC Comets 10-4. We will be on the air next on January 5th versus the Tropics at 7 o'clock. Until then, for Matt Bird, I'm Patrick Kelly. Have a great night. We will see you next time on MASL TV.
But guess what?